Hello, 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 everybody. This is Malcolm Sosa. Hopefully, you'll be able to see me now. Good. Thanks for joining. This is Fresno Famos, which is the first remote, real time art showcase that I know of. Um, and we're going to get started by introducing you to our producers. And we're going to start with Donald. He's coming on. And then we have Teresa, or Teresa, as she asked me to say earlier today.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. And let's see, can you hear Josh?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Josh.
All
And can we
right.
see everybody's names? Okay.
Yes.
Look at us
Yeah.
up and running.
I feel like I'm on CNN.
Right?
Well, thanks everyone for watching. I see Jonathan, Amanda, Claire, Janet. Thanks for tuning in. We thought this might be a good way to share art under the given circumstance. Okay, Teresa's left.
This is gonna happen.
How are
a
you
lot,
doing, Donald?
I feel like
Sorry about
people
that.
running around.
I am
Gotta get
doing
my coffee.
great. I just got to walk my dog. Chance to get outside.
Yeah. How about you, Josh?
I'm doing well. So working for the Fresno Bee, I got to follow this stuff kind of closely, and that can be a little bit overwhelming. But then I get to go and do stuff like this. So it's a welcome break, and I really do appreciate it. And everyone, we did a run through, and it looks like it's going to be a really awesome show. So super excited about what everyone's bringing.
And then Teresa, how are you?
I'm good. How is everybody? It's pouring rain outside here in LA. I don't know if in Fresno you guys have the same right now.
Not
Gorgeous
yet.
out there, but we're probably going to get the rain soon.
It's supposed to rain tonight, Monday or tomorrow. Yeah.
And just so you know, Teresa and I are both in LA, and then Donald and Josh are in Fresno.
Yep.
But we are from Fresno.
Mm-hmm. And we
Very
have
Ex-
lots
You're expats.
That's right. Yeah.
beaming in for this one night only. We hope to keep it going if we can, but we'll see. Tonight, the segment we're going to lead off with is Donald's over here. So I'm going to hide Josh and Teresa for a little bit. And we're going to let Donald talk about who he has. And bye, Teresa and Josh.
Bye.
All right, Donald, who you got?
Oh my God, we've got a great lineup tonight. And this was fun because, of course, it was pretty last minute, but we threw it together, and I think you're going to be impressed by our guests. So first up, do we have Kyle ready to go?
Let's see, is Kyle here? He is. He's ready. I'm going to bring him in right now.
So one of my favorite people, Kyle Lowe, very talented, does lots of different things. Tonight,
Hello.
he is going to sing for us, sing and play for us. Tell us about it, Kyle.
Yeah, I was on Twitter this morning, and someone took the lyrics or took the song 1 week by Bare Naked Ladies, because most of us have been shelter in place for about a week, and they redid the lyrics Weird Al style to be about the quarantine. So I'm gonna butcher this because I practiced it for the last hour, but I thought it was really funny.
So these are all based on actual tweets. Is that the case?
Someone. It was at Danny Awesome. Did I close the?
No, you're still there.
At Danny Awesome. Sorry, I just wanted to see if I closed it. So I'm going to put in the group chat here. I don't get to tweet. I don't get to post in the public chat. I'll have to open another one, but I'll put the tweet in there. At Danny Awesome, DANI Awesome, redid the lyrics to the song, and I thought it was really funny, and I was like, I could do that tonight because
Absolutely.
wasn't sure what I was gonna do. Otherwise, there's been some really good Mr. Brightside memes about the washing your hands. If you sing the chorus to Mr. Brightside, if you're getting tired of singing Happy Birthday, the singer from The Killers was like, "Oh, you can sing Mr. Brightside. That's 20 seconds."
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, take it away.
Yeah.
You're
Okay,
leading the show.
all right, I'm gonna butcher this. I got my lyrics here. Yeah, it's been 1 week since we quarantined. Said we'd stay inside and eat our groceries. 5 days since you FaceTime me, saying be symptom free or don't come and see me. 3 days since the living room became my office and moved my work to Zoom. Yesterday you abandoned me, but it'll still be 2 months till we get to be free. Wash your hands in the kitchen sink. Don't want to be the weak link that gives corona to your fellow man. Don't have a snack, but I wish I'd stuck up on tuna fish. I clear the pantry before the worst began. Don't run errands at the peak times. Use Amazon Prime as long as postal service comes through. Good thing we still have Netflix. A bar nuts up, sure, but love is fun, but it is dumb too. Gonna be a flick and skip spring break because Miami's on outbreak, full of sick college kids who could not conduct. His conduct could be safer. Gotta stop the shows because if they go, then the pandemic's gonna grow because they are dangerous by order of the mayor. Cannot help it if I got corona from my dad. Trying hard not to cough, though I feel bad. Trying to avoid my own funeral. Can't go out to eat or I'll get ill. Ask my senator for universal sick leave. I have a growing need to keep paying my bills. It's been 1 week since COVID-19. Threw my plans up in the air and killed our parties. 5 days since emergency. Gotta flatten the curve or become Italy. 3 days since we all cocoon. Realize you can't beat this, no one's immune. Yesterday, someone coughed on me. It'll be 18 months till we can be free. Over in China, when some got stricken, they locked in the doors and COVID stopped ticking. Walking my dog with a mask on, and everyone's gone. See if I see someone, I will run. At the grocery stores, I'm feeling panic. At home, I'm manic. At the doctors, I am terrified. Like Idris Elba, I am feeling ill. Okay, I don't feel ill. That's hypochondria all magnified. Gotta shut down all the fitness clubs and close the social hubs. Work from home. Work on your hamstrings. Gotta make a joke, but it's too soon because cases ballooned and the boomers and the sick can't get vaccines. How can I stop watching the news because it makes me feel sad? Need to know, but the signs are pointing too bad. Help a fellow man and friends, that is beautiful. Drop off some clothes at the local Goodwill. We need science and we need the people to believe. When we need the test before more people get hurt. It's been 1 week since the distancing. Dropped our lives to the side for our well-being. 5 days since the testing grew. It's still not as much as the other nations do. 3 days since the briefing room where the president said he's not to blame, but what can we do? Yesterday, you just texted me because it'll be 2 weeks till we break quarantine. It'll still be 2 months till we break quarantine. It'll be until we break quarantine. Yes.
So you managed to work, that song manages to work in almost every single phrase about COVID, right? And even the fact that it uses the word COVID.
I did worked it in. I kept most of the phrasing from the original song. I butchered it, but I thought it was funny, so I needed to share that with all of you.
Those were a lot of consonants.
Way too many.
Too many.
I'll have to practice that at karaoke night some more.
So how many times do you think you've washed your hands today?
Today, not as much because I haven't left the house too much.
Okay.
I figured, if I'm just stewing here, I'm washing my hands the normal amount. I'm not like missing out.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. There was someone who tweeted that was like, I see all these things about people learning how to properly wash their hands. Have you not been washing your hands the right way all this time?
Well, you've been in a men's room. You know that people don't wash their hands.
That's fair. So. That's fair. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kyle, very much. That was a great way to start the show.
Thanks for having me, Donald.
We appreciate it.
See you later.
So next up, we have a very special singer, Emma Denbeston. I have been watching you for years on stage. You are radiant both on and off the stage. Thank you for being with us. You were going to be playing the lead role in The King and I at Good Company Players. That was supposed to happen on Thursday. What has that been like for you and your castmates? You're all pumped to do the show, and then all of a sudden you can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a shock. First there were the announcements and rehearsal. Okay, everybody, before you go on stage and as soon as you get off stage, wash your hands. And we had people bringing in hand sanitizer, and we were all just really vigilant and keeping our hands clasped when we were backstage so we didn't touch our face. That was like the first step. And then I started worrying, oh gosh, if we open, are people even going to come because everyone's afraid? To we're postponing opening. And, I think everyone can relate that everything just happened so fast. And, I think it's the right call, obviously, to comply with the state of California.
Yeah, but you've all put in so much work, and I know that every show has that kind of those rehearsal demands. But you are going to sing a song for us tonight.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what you're going to sing?
So I'm going to sing Hello, Young Lovers, which is a song from The King and I that I think really is underappreciated. It's not one that everybody immediately thinks of when they think of The King and I. But it's about Anna just reflecting on her husband who has passed. And she's, hopeful about the future and not worried about being alone, but excited about what is going to come for others and for herself. So I thought it would be a good song to sing now, because even though we're all alone, there's still a lot of bright spots in the world.
Well, fantastic.
All right. Also, I'm the most low tech, so I really don't have any weird sound issues. I have a weird rig with no microphones. When I think of Tom, I think about a night when the earth smelled of summer and the sky was streaked with white, and the soft mist of England was sleeping on a hill. I remember this, and I always will. There are new lovers now on the same silent hill, looking on the same blue sea. And I know Tom and I are a part of them all, and they're all a part of Tom and me. Hello, young lovers, whoever you are, I hope your troubles are few. All my good wishes go with you tonight. I've been in love like you. Be brave, young lovers, and follow your star. Be brave and faithful and true. Cling very close to each other tonight. I've been in love like you. I know how it feels to have wings on your heels and to fly down a street in a trance. You fly down a street on the chance that you meet, and you meet not really by chance. Don't cry, young lovers, whatever you do. Don't cry because I'm alone. All of my memories are happy tonight. I've had a love of my own. I've had a love of my own like yours. I've had a love of my own.
Oh, thank you so much, Emma. Thank you for brightening our Sunday night with that song. I cannot wait to actually hear you sing it in the show. We got to go soon, but can you just give me a word for why community theater is so important, and what can we do to help good company players right now?
Yeah, so right now, obviously the theater's dark, which is hard, but you can buy gift certificates to Roger Rocca's. And hopefully we can get that link in the chat or post it on Facebook. But buying ticket vouchers is the best way to support them right now. And then as soon as we're back open, you'll be all set and ready to come see us because you'll already have your ticket paid for. But yeah, art is so important right now. And I know it feels like that, oh, we can do without that. But it's really the home for our emotions. And with all of this crazy stuff going on right now, I think it's just more and more evident that we need art more than ever before. So don't forget about your artists, because we will not forget about you, and we will keep holding these places for your emotions to be.
Oh, you say it so beautifully. Thank you. Thank you so much, Emma.
Thanks, Donald. Thanks for having me.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. You as well.
So now we're going to call up my third guest, and for many people, he doesn't need any introduction at all. Benjamin Boone is Fresno's jazz man, I guess you could say. He's got a bunch of albums to his credit, Fresno State professor. Hi, Ben. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And by the way, I just had a very proud teacher moment. Not that I can take credit for it, but Emma was actually in my theory class at Fresno State, and she was just an absolutely phenomenal student. And to not only hear her wonderful voice, but to articulate the importance of the arts just in a much better way than I could. We as teachers want our students to end up being better than we are. And I think in Emma's case, that's really evident. So bravo to Emma there.
Congratulations to you, Professor. So you just had an album drop on Friday, which is in retrospect probably not the date you would have wanted it to happen. But tell us, how did you end up making an album in Ghana?
Sure. Well, my wife, Alice Daniel, who's the news director at KVPR, and I were both U.S. Fulbright scholars to the University of Ghana in 2017 to 18. While I was there, this wasn't part of my official project. I just heard that there was this great jazz band at a club called the 233 Jazz Club. And they invited me to play, and I ended up playing a lot with them and doing some tours with them. And then right before I left, I decided I have to record a CD with these people. So here we are with the band and great musicians. And then the cover is actually artwork by a Ghanaian painter. And we ended up recording this CD in the last days that I was there in a sweltering Accra, Ghana studio.
Now that is what I call a great souvenir to be able to take home, right?
Oh my gosh! I just I get chill bumps thinking about the experience of playing with these musicians. And the title of the CD is Joy, and even in crisis or when things are going wrong. The Ghanaians seem to have a love of life, and I'm overgeneralizing, but a love of life and really in touch with what's the most important, and really epitomize joy in their music making, their art making, and just in the way that they live life. It's really something that I really have missed.
Well, fantastic. Well, you have your sax there. Are you going to play a little something for us?
I have this little thing. Alice hot water and it shrunk. This is the soprano saxophone. And what I thought that I would do, are we going to play the clip? Malcolm had indicated, the video's not working, but I can play.
Doesn't look like it's working.
That's okay. I can play part of the clip audio so you can hear it. So maybe I'll play a couple of little snippets of the finished CD for you all. But one thing I thought that musicians might think that would find interesting, Malcolm is showing right now a scale, and this is called the Tizita scale. I got to go to Ethiopia and hang out there for a while. And this is a different type of pentatonic scale. Those of you that are musicians know that a regular C pentatonic scale would be C, D, E, G, A, and guitarists would call that an A minor pentatonic scale, and I'll demonstrate the difference in a second. But you'll notice, musicians, that this has a lowered third and a lowered sixth degree, and that gives it a really kind of mystical sound, and it's really ancient, back probably hundreds, if not thousands of years. So here's what a typical, I'm going to back up so I don't totally scream into the microphone, and I'm going to remember to turn down my gain. So here's what a regular pentatonic scale would sound like. It would sound like that. But this scale has the lowered third and the lowered sixth. And the interesting thing about this scale to me is that instead of the C that you saw before being the main note, it's not, it's the fifth. So it's really like you're starting on G. So, and then if you add a leading tone, you get these really weird. Like that kind of, which I think is a very mystical kind of sound. In Western music, we might call that a harmonic minor, starting from the fifth. So that was really new to me, and I thought it was really interesting. And a guy wrote,
and it's this musical language that, it's this musical language that really adds kind of a different feel to the music.
Yeah, it's really mystical, very, very old to me. So I think I'll try a sample here, since this is all an experiment. And let's see if you can hear, if I play the track on my computer, let's see if you can hear just a little bit of, I'll just play a snippet.
Okay.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me
I heard the first part.
Okay, let me play just the last few 30 seconds of this track called Curtain of Light, which I think encapsulates sort of the religious fervor that we witnessed when we were in Ethiopia over Orthodox Easter, where people actually truly fast for 3 days and are chanting and all of that using ancient modes like this. So it's sort of like building into a religious fervor. So let's see if we can hear this. So that's a real high intensity track, but obviously the whole CD isn't like that. But it's something I thought your listeners might find interesting, because it is an ancient musical system that I completely wasn't aware of.
It's fascinating stuff, and I can tell you the album it's full of joy. I'm really glad you gave it that title. Can you tell us, how would people buy the album?
Sure. Well, you can buy the physical album, download high-resolution WAV files. Of course, it's on all the other streaming things, but artists make no money on the streaming things. You can Google any of your favorite artists, but for me, Benjamin Boone, Ghana, Joy, and the website that's good for artists is called Bandcamp, and they're being very, very friendly to artists and giving them a really high percentage and everything. So for any of the music that you love, if you Google their name and then Bandcamp, one word, you'll find them, and then the artist will actually get a few pennies. So that's
good to know. That's good to know. Well, Ben, thank you so much. You are always working on some amazing creative project, and we're so glad you could share it with us tonight.
Oh, I'm just honored to be here, Donald, and I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy you all are doing this real creative thing, and I'll be following along and looking forward to future episodes.
Well, great. Well, I'm going
For
to
everyone,
toss
stay
it.
safe, stay creative, use this time to do something positive and be resilient. And
That's really good
creativity is
advice.
a great thing to do in these times so that we all can grow.
Thank you again, Ben. So I'm going to toss it back to Malcolm, and
Hi.
you are going to introduce this next segment, I understand.
Yeah, well, the next segment is Teresa's.
It's like the
And
Brady
we've got
Bunch.
two awesome artists coming up. Just to continue with what Ben was saying, Bandcamp is being really kind to artists. And so if you can help buy stuff there, that's going to help the artist directly. And then Teresa, tell us about your guest.
Lesser, who is a
Apologies, I had you on mute, Teresa.
mute.
Sorry, technical. So start over, please. I'll hide.
So we have Sean Slesser, who is a music historian. He's a professor at Fresno State, and he's going to talk to us about the history of hip hop in Fresno. And then we also have, after Sean, we have Charles Montgomery, who is a legendary b-boy here in the Fresno community. And so say hi, everybody. Hi.
Hey guys, girls.
Cool. All right, so Sean, let's see. How are you, Sean?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Sean, we have you on mute, I think. You'll have to...
Do I have to change that on my
Here,
end?
Sean.
No, it's Sean, not Charles. Charles, we can hear you good.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Hi, thanks for being
Hi, how
here.
you doing?
So I'm really interested in what you have to share with us about Fresno and its history with hip hop. And you mentioned there's a lot of community history.
Yeah, so we
can you go
run
ahead and
sure. I co-direct a project with Dr. Romeo Guzman out of the Valley Public History Initiative. It's our Straight Out of Fresno little booklet we made. So we're trying to document Fresno hip hop history. And when we started this, one of the things that we just kind of knew from some of the basic writings about hip hop is that popping had a history in Fresno. A lot of people think that popping originated in Fresno, if not the origination point, one of them. And so I just wanted to kind of find out a little about that. And we just poked around, found some people in the community. We learned a little bit about that history of popping in Fresno. It centers around Poppin' Pete and Boogaloo Sam, who are two brothers who grew up in West Fresno. Learned this dancing through a variety of community-based mechanisms. Practiced it in the front yard, brought it to community centers, practiced and battled at places like the West Coast Relays. And so they're in conversation with dancers around the state from the Bay Area and LA, where they developed this very distinct local style that they then make world famous once they end up on Soul Train. And so they perform as the Electric Boogaloos, and they get worldwide recognition. In doing the history, one of the things that we recognized, though, is that there was a longer history of dance in Fresno. And so a lot of people, they've heard of Poppin' Pete or Boogaloo Sam, Electric Boogaloos, but there were generations that came after their own, that came after them, that developed their own styles. And the styles that Charles practices with b-boying, Fresno becomes a hotbed spread across the community in the kind of South Fresno, Southwest, Southeast Fresno. You have folks of different backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds. You have Hmong kids, you have kids who are African American, Latino, and everything in between. And they're developing this very unique style. And it's very Fresno, and it's very much coming out of local public spaces. And it's coming within dancers amongst themselves.
I also think it's really interesting that kids learn popping and breakdancing at school on their lunch break.
Yeah,
Can you talk a little bit about that?
yeah, when we started talking to people, that was one of the interesting things, is that a lot of these kids, I mean, obviously they're going to local high schools, and lunch becomes a space of like practice, it becomes a space of battling. And so Charles and those folks would tell these stories about just these epic battles that are going down during lunch period at Roosevelt High School or in other high schools around the valley. And it's just, I really like this story because it's very local. It's a community. Like their kids are just kind of hanging out at lunch, and this is something they're doing to make the time pass. But in doing so, they're learning a culture, they're practicing it, they're getting good at it, and then they're able to kind of bring that energy outside of the high school, and they're battling around the valley. And then some like Charles will take this around the state and even global.
And they're teaching each other. That's what really interests me too, is that like they're in school and they're teaching each other how to dance.
Definitely. So this is one of the Fresno angles, is that because they're not in the kind of hubs of obviously the Bronx, but definitely not places like the Bay Area or LA, they're not in those same kind of scenes. And so they are teaching themselves. So they might have like a bootleg videotape of battles that they're passing around and dubbing and redubbing and learning battles that way, but they're not in the hub, so they have to kind of create things on their own. And so they develop a unique style because they're kind of locked out of some of those larger networks. And so that's bad in one sense because they don't get access to like the resources of those networks. But it does develop a very kind of local DIY kind of chip on your shoulder kind of attitude. And so Fresno B-Boys definitely bring it. They have a very distinct style that I think is pretty obvious when they go outside of Fresno.
What do you think distinguishes that style?
You know, someone like Charles is much better at speaking to the stylistic elements of it, but Fresno's definitely had a long history of power moves and kind of focusing on some of the more acrobatic moves that the kind of layperson would recognize. But again, some of this is intergenerational too. And so Charles and his crew have been good at mentoring the next generation of B-Boys, and then the other crews in the valley, and now they are, because you have the internet and stuff, they're able to kind of see what other people are doing and they kind of mix on a lot of different things. But I think historically, Fresno's been known for its power move traditions. Again, kind of those big, bold, acrobatic moves that people kind of think of when they see B-boying, but there's a lot of other elements that are just as important as well.
Yeah. How about girls, B-girls? What can you tell us about them?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. We haven't found a lot of them. They're there. As a historian, it's something that we're looking out for. It's something that doesn't come up in a lot of the narratives that we've heard about. I think it's getting better, like in these generations, that there's more B-girls coming out. I know, again, people like Charles have done a lot better job, like in current years, of reaching out and mentoring that next generation of B-girls. But it's not always been the most hospitable space for women. And so women, when you read about kind of hip hop in general and B-boying in particular, you have to really prove your way in. And so that becomes, that can be off-putting to some women who kind of get weeded out earlier because they don't feel welcomed.
Totally.
So the ones that stick around are like legit, and they're pretty dope, and they really earn their stripes. And so we definitely have some. We've interviewed a couple women who just talk about like the value of being able to dance and kind of gain respect in a community based on their skills and their merit.
That's interesting. I wonder how much they can have a space to support each other.
Definitely not easy.
Cool. Well, is there anything else you might want to add? No, I can't imagine. Anything else you might want to add?
No, again, I think the only thing I would note is that there's a history in the valley. It's important. That history is sometimes hard to get recognized because it's not LA, it's not the Bay. But these are youth. These are predominantly youth of color. These are predominantly working class youth who are working hard to create. And the things that they create are amazing. Things that Charles continues to do, and things he did as a youth, and all those folks that were coming up. For me as an outsider, it's amazing that they're able to create this art with very limited resources. And so I just, I'm amazed by it. Our project is ongoing straight out of Fresno. We're always looking to kind of learn more about this history if anyone wants to share. And so, we're excited about learning more. I'm excited to see Charles dance. So.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
sure, thanks.
we will have a link to Sean's project, Straight Out of Fresno. That'll be available, I believe, on our YouTube page when the show is over.
Nice.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yo, peace, brother. Peace.
See you, Charles.
Hi, Charles. How are
Hello,
you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us. I'm really excited to see your performance. Can you tell us a little bit about your history,
My name is Charles
what you
Montgomery.
do?
Yeah, aka B-Boy Goku. I'm from the southeast side of Fresno, 1400 block, and between Maple and Chestnut. I started breaking in 1993. Always had the love for hip hop music, of course, and funk music. Being that you're from the southeast side of Fresno, Butler Park, you're growing up around uh, African American and Latinos, and so culture is just our thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just our kids, the youth, grow up in that culture. So Butler Park is responsible for giving birth to me in that sense.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Can you tell us, you have a school, right? Where you teach?
I did. I did have a
Okay.
school. Yes, I had a school for 11 years. I no longer have it anymore. Unfortunately, I had to close my doors because, I had to just make moves as a man and as a father as well. And at this moment, it just was not feasible for me. And I had to put what was more important in my life, and that to the side. So I
Mm-hmm.
did try to raise some funds to help us opening doors,
Mm-hmm.
which we did.
Mm-hmm.
We raised, some money, and we were very, very blessed and thankful for that. Man,
Mm-hmm.
gratitude all the way around for whoever donated. And I still
Mm-hmm.
do have plans on opening doors probably this summer. Right now, I mean, it probably wouldn't matter because we're affected by this nasty thing going on outside, and just
Yeah.
we all need to be responsible and play our part.
Yeah. But it is something to look forward to
Oh yeah.
keep the GoFundMe open and to
Hmm.
still want to raise funds for when things turn up and we're all able to socialize again.
Right, right. No, yeah.
Yeah.
In full effect. It will be in full effect, this summer. We have some great additions coming to the new school. I've been working on the pedagogy side of everything and what I'd like to teach and implement in the school, and offer
Mm-hmm.
to this community other than just mirrors and a floor and music. There has to be some, things that you can actually put your hands on and,
Mm-hmm.
visually see to educate
Mm-hmm.
yourself within the culture that blacks and Latinos have created for the world.
That's really powerful.
Mm.
That's really
Yeah, it
powerful to
is.
have in Fresno.
Hmm. I mean, well, being the pillar here,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to just play my part, and that's my responsibility is to take what me and my group started back in the '90s, and just pass it on to the youth and let them know what's available to them through hip hop, because sometimes sports is not always the thing for the youth, or certain things
Yeah.
that are happening within school, and
Yeah.
I want them to know that, we were birthed from some of the things that they're probably going through. And, I'm not a savior, but I am here to help guide them.
Yeah. That's great. And so you're going to perform a little bit for us, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could do a little something. Is
All
that
right.
cool?
All right.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
right now?
We'll get the screen situated. We'll get the music up.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, go for it. That's cool. Hey, a little something. Not too much, but hey.
Hold on. Let me get the music out. That was great. We did a little coordination. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. So can you tell us what like distinguishes a Fresno style from a different style?
Well, I guess what I can say, kind of like in a nutshell, is when you think about hip hop, maybe in the boroughs in New York, it was always word of mouth about what was happening. You know, with Grandmaster Flash, Furious Five, you know, Peace to Them Brothers, and other boroughs like that where Bambaataa was from. So when you think about the overall on how word of mouth helps spread certain knowledge or certain skills going on in the boroughs, Fresno had the same thing. You know, they say word of mouth is the best form of business. So when you think about that, kind of like the same thing. It happened out here. It was like an explosion of what was happening, who was doing what. And to me, if word of mouth was my internet, or being able to visually pop up to a jam or, a practice at the local community centers, man, I got to see it firsthand on what was happening, But I think that, yeah, it was more of one of the more popular thing happening, which was breaking in the 90s. But I think graph and DJing and MCs had always existed here. You know what I mean? Popping is a staple for this city, and one of the, I guess, places of birth when it comes to that dance. So being in the 90s, breaking just had its explosion, and we had bits and pieces of music videos being played, like Common Sense, I Used to Love Her was rocking on, the box, and we were inspired by that. The local mom community was doing some really cool power moves. So we were inspired by those type of things, me and my crew.
Wow.
But we were more into the culture side of hip hop as well. The fashion, the music, like records. You know what I mean? We were always digging. So believe it or not, I feel that we bring that value to the culture of hip hop here. Is like keeping the essence of where it began and bringing it here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I spent a lot of time watching the box too in Fresno back in the 90s. It was great. All right. Well, I really appreciate you sharing with us. And guys, the link for his school is going to be up in our links on YouTube. So check those out. And yeah, I really appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Hey, I just want to say peace to the founder of my crew, co-founders of my crew, Angelino Costello and Pablo Flores. If it wasn't for those guys, man, I wouldn't be here. And everybody else that's contributing to the culture of hip hop here, thank you. And let's keep it pushing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I muted myself.
That was pretty amazing.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Charles is
wow.
amazing. And Sean really shared a lot of Fresno history there.
Yeah, that was really great, Teresa. I really learned a lot. I hadn't realized a lot of that stuff.
Enrichment. I'm really glad we could bring this programming to the people.
All right, we have one more segment, and it's Josh's.
It's me.
And he's going to have a special guest joining him.
I need a guest.
So I'll take everyone else down, and I'll bring in the guests. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
You go ahead.
It's Donald. No, it's not Donald. So I have with me, hopefully jumping in here on a second, the co-host and producer of a podcast I do here in town called Flowing with Famous. And it's Mike. Hey, Mike. Can you hear me? Mike is not. He's just, there's nothing. Mike. Hello. I think we're having problems with Mike. Oh, no, I can hear you. Mike, can you hear me? He can't hear me. I can hear him, though, I think.
Mike, can you hear us?
Now I can.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
All right.
Can you hear Josh?
Can you see me now? Are we good? No, now something's going on.
I can hear you. So I'm going to take you off real quick and bring you back.
All right.
Josh. Okay, here we go, Mike. You can hear me, though, right, Mike?
I can hear you great.
Okay, let's try Josh again. He's coming back.
All right, we're back. Can you hear me now, Mike?
Still
no.
Just mute, unmute again.
Hello, 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 hello. This is what happens when we
Yeah, of a live TV show.
live.
I'm gonna knock you off altogether, Josh.
Okay.
And then you log back on.
That sounds great.
In the meantime, Mike, do you want to tell me more about Flowing with Famous? I know a few things about that podcast. Or maybe you can't hear me at all. All right. So I think I'm gonna have to boom mine. It's just me, Donald. I'm bringing you back on until I get Josh.
Okay. Hey, where was Mike? Was he in a bomb shelter, or I mean, it looked like a lot of canned goods.
I thought it was his basement. That's my guess.
Okay. Wow, we know where to go, right?
Yeah. Okay, now Josh is back. Let's see if this works. That was a bust. You're back though,
Hello.
Josh. Can you hear us? Maybe. Josh?
I'm having trouble with everything.
It's just your segment.
Hello.
I can hear you, Josh.
Okay, I can hear Donald.
Okay. I'm going to hide.
So we're having.
Hear me?
I can hear you now, Mike.
Okay, let's try and bring back Mike.
Let's
we'll
try
one more time.
Mikey. Sorry about this, guys. There's some good content coming up, though, I guarantee. All right, Mike, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Josh. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
and I can hear you. That's all we need. All right, let's do it. All right, so for those who don't know, Mike is the Fresnon at thefresnon.com, a local blogger, been doing this thing forever, and co-host of Flowing with Famous, and which is had to have you on because we borrowed Flowing with Famous from Malcolm
Bought
and the
that.
crew when they were
Paid an undisclosed sum for that. Still mystery.
Right, yeah, and so we've been continuing with the podcast, which you were saying is that it was the first podcast in Fresno.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was like podcasting was like invented like a month before I think Flowing with Famous went on with Malcolm and Jared and Reed and yeah, I think if you consider us still a lot, the same. I think one of the longest running podcasts in existence. I think maybe I can think of maybe 3 podcasts that are older than Flowing with Famous.
And all talking about Fresno stuff, and so I thought I wanted to make sure we had you on to be able to be part of this because it being the first of this type of thing to happen, sort of groundbreaking in the same way that the podcast was. So, yeah, you can find us at Flowing with Pod.
Great, Josh.
Who knows?
So just look for Flowing with Famous in the podcast things.
That's right. Flowing with Famous wherever you get podcasts. Okay, so I am going to jump really quick into our first guest. And when Malcolm asked me to do this, there were a few people that I thought were worth reaching out to. And one of them was this guy right here, Israel Flores, who is in a band called Macondo and also instrumental in the Spanspec Music and Arts Festival out there in Orosi, and just a really good friend of the podcast and everything else. And you guys, Macondo, had an album out. You guys were lucky in that you got to have your album released before all of this stuff sort of happened, yeah?
You know, I was just thinking about that today. I think we probably had the last big local show, I mean, for lack of a better term, before everything started dying down. So it was just perfect for us. So we've canceled future shows, but that was just like the end of, you could still have shows, and luckily we had enough people and everyone had a good time. But at this time, these things like we're doing right now are great.
Right. And so I thought maybe you could come on and play a couple songs, you know, plug the band and all that good stuff. So you're set up. Can we just get him hooked up and let him go?
Yeah, I'm ready. So again,
All right.
my name is Israel Flores from local band Macondo. Our album Voices just came out early March. So you can, you know, look it up, find it, stream it, whatever. Let me see. I have a copy here. So this is what it looks like if you see it, I don't know, online. And I'm going to play a couple songs from there. Hope everyone can hear me. This first song is called On These Days. Through the snow, follow where it lands. Sing a song, one from distant land. Talk about tomorrow, tonight. Show me your way, alive. Show me your way. Show me your way. Yes, of course, I know how to. Come along, find out if you do. Heart and life of black and white. Sing again, sing until you try. Talk about tomorrow, tonight. Show me your way. Show me your way. Show me your way. Run, 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 falling by and run. Run, 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 falling by and run. Run, 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 falling by and run. Run, run, falling by and run. Hearts for nights, life for black and white. Sing again, sing until you try. Talk about tomorrow, tonight. Show me your way. Show me your way. Show me your way. Run, 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 falling by and by. All right, I'm gonna go. Oh, there's Josh.
Yeah. You got one more?
I do. If you guys want to do one more, I can do one more.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, this next song is called Chris Aura, also off the album. I'm gonna be my last song. Thank you everyone for making this happen. So. Do you care to blow away
today. Do you mind taking the time to trust you're lost? Love's a feeling inside your head. Oh, a feeling is what you get. Love's a feeling inside. Is it different? Do you try? Love, so we what you get. Love's a feeling inside. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Israel, for doing this. Just quickly, again, let people know where they can find you and your music.
So Macondo, MACONDO, band, I think, so Instagram, Facebook, I think Instagram is Macondo_band. Facebook, just look us up. And then as far as all your streaming places.
Are you guys on Bandcamp? Are you guys on Bandcamp? Okay.
I believe we might be, yes.
We're trying to send people to Bandcamp.
Right, so I've been hearing a lot of people already mentioning that, which I was going to mention, but Bandcamp's doing a lot of good things for especially smaller acts like us. So go ahead and go to Bandcamp and buy some all the local bands. And if you can, a lot of bands have merchandise right now that they're still selling. Figure out how to do it.
For sure.
Social media. So thank you very much.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. All right, and so another person that I thought to reach out to when this all came up was Brian Medina, who is a one-time Fresno Poet Laureate and has mass connections with the poet world, obviously, here in Fresno. And I knew that he would be able to get some people for me on a short notice, and so, which he did, and I really, really appreciate that. And so here we are. Yeah, great. So I'm just gonna, how are you all?
Fine.
Yes.
Doing good.
Yes, good. That's what I like to hear. So I know you all, each of you has brought something that you're gonna read, perform. I don't really care as to who goes in what order. So, you know, if you just want to decide amongst yourselves real quick.
I say ladies first.
And then we could just go from there. So who wants to go first? No one wants to go. All right. Michael's gonna do it. All right. So let's just bring him up and take it away.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just gonna hop right in. This is sorry about that. A poem that is about my first love. Here we go. I was 18, young. I was overcome with this notion, an undercurrent of undeniable fact I could not swim against my whole life. I've lied to myself. I'm tired of hiding. I am a whore for pizza. So, you may doubt the severity of that statement, but I promise you, I meant every syllable. I cannot get enough. And I would marry pizza if I could, and I would be the most perfect husband. I would do the dishes, do the laundry, cook, buy flowers, write love poems for pizza if after I get home from work, pizza would let me eat it. And we would have beautiful pizza babies together. This one has her crust. And we would grow old together. But upon my death, my will is read, pizza will find all my life savings split between all my mistresses. Little Caesars, Domino's, Tombstone, DiGiorno, Pizza Hut, Sunny Select. I am no picky man. I am a whore for pizza. See, I like my pizza like I like my women. Thin crust, thick crust, deep dish, extra toppings, no toppings, hot, cold, stale. We are all God's children. It should be a crime to love pizza the way I do, but I doubt it would stop me because I leave no box unopened, no crust uneaten, no finger unlicked. There are no slices left behind, not on my watch. See, because even if it's been decided that enjoying the miracles of pizza is criminal, I'd find a way. All across America would sprout these backdoor pizzerias, bake-easies, with the most delicious of illegal ingredients, and the combinations will blow your mind. I can just see it now. A 5-layer pizza, topped with pizza bagel bites in the crust. The crust holding this orgasm of flavor together would be none other than a calzone. Can I get a witness? I swear to God, it is not fair how good pizza is, the way the crust softly crunches against your teeth, the smooth, slick dough wet with dollops of tomato sauce all underneath a hot blanket of cheese. Oh, it's intoxicating. The things I would do for a slice of heaven. You can take my firstborn. You can take my life, but I swear to God, if you take my pizza, I will find you.
Yes, that was sexy. It was sexy talking about. I appreciate that. Massive. So very nice there. Oh, and are you eating pizza?
I have to.
Is that what's happening? So jealous right now. This is ridiculous. Game with chops and everything. That's awesome. All right. So who wants to take a crack at it next? Let's do it. Go ahead. Ready. Yeah, your mic is ready.
Okay, because it was telling me it was off. Just checking. I've been watching the show. So this piece is called Maybe Something Beautiful, Fresno. Maybe something a brightly colored song, loud, felt, and seen. Dancers' feet and heart of the people and the call of the conch. Maybe something beautiful, mi Fresno. Maybe something of raging grannies keeping the beat for the swift movement of the beat kings, break dancing on the smooth linoleum floors on the corner of Cedar and Tulare, and the 4 cardinal points, Heaven smiting down, earth rejoicing up. The town of Fresno, hip hop town, merengue town, old school funk town. We get downtown, country music, Punjabi sound. My town, my Fresno, first class. City of literature and stories, growing with the ash tree and the ragged weeds out of every dusty corner in the messed up streets. All dusty, hot, my city. Thirst is no stranger here, and we quench it, drown it, smooth it out with love, with our kitchen poetry, with our murals, DJs, and bandas, acoustic sessions downtown and uptown, and the center of this town. Well, that's here today, painted on a wall, all of our hopes and dreams. Fresno coming together to put up its future aspirations, its call for peace and prayers. My Fresno on a mural on the streets of Cedar and Tulare, Fresno, my town. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that. That was really awesome. Totally appropriate. You gotta love your Fresno out there. So yes, snap. There we go. All right, so it's all you, Brian. You want to do this thing?
Oh yeah, we can do this.
Let's do this thing.
All right, here we go. This one's called "Living in the Aftermath of Two Shadows." There used to be a head of household, but he has gone the way of absentee fathers. If I'm lucky, maybe we'll meet at McDonald's someday, where broken families exchange latchkey kids at noon for a day at the park with photo ops, soon to be forgotten. So I whisper my hopes to the silences that stagnate our rooms in this once happy home. I carry colorful crayon markers to color in the blank spots, so I don't have to hear the commotion from the walls, the floors. Sometimes I mark outside the lines just to see what I can get away with. But mostly, I find myself scribbling nonsensical nonsense. My vibrant hues mixing with the muted pastels, hoping one day my artist eye would be good enough to cut off an ear and abstract myself in crazy right angles, 180 degrees left of my grandparents' political readings for future fights that end with, "I never did like your father." Daddy did have a short fuse, and so did I. Memories involving walls riddled with holes as wide and as deep as the universe I felt churning inside me until I got older. My knuckle game, nothing more than a way to let the poison out. Yesterday, the sky was black with birds. There must have been 1,000 flying away from me. Towards what? I don't know. So when I showed up tender and bruised later that night, Mama's wet eyes told me everything I needed to know about that. Punched and kicked, wrestling the night in the vacant lot next to where Uncle Ray got introduced into the life. My mouth swallowing both blood and wind in gulps of rite of passage, banged against the concrete. We don't speak anymore after this. And 3 husbands, while he always demanding another chance to find that part of so long ago. What happened to those pictures? But it's all just a fog now, a new bruise to throb hard against the pounding heat of Fresno City. Thank you.
Yes. I want to bring on Mike. Can you bring on Mike C2? Because I think he because we were all watching this and we're all stricken, I believe, by your room there and all the crazy Star Wars. That was hard for me to pay attention because, you know, Mike has the beer and you, Brian, have all the Star Wars stuff. So I appreciate that. The poll was great also, don't get me wrong, but I was,
yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. I got Star Wars
I
back
can't see
there.
Brian's room. This is
I
Can we
got
see a little
making me angry.
Star Wars?
toys back
Oh,
there,
and then whoa, okay. See, I
Yeah.
didn't even see the
all
full
that.
scope.
And then we come this way. We got let me see, get out of the way. We got Walking Dead toys.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the
And
best
then we
part.
have, oh yeah, then back over here we got more toys, more pops, all
I feel
sorts
like
of stuff.
the best part of all of this is being able to see where people live. Working remotely from home, all your coworkers, you're like, I see how you live now. So I appreciate that, and thank you for bringing everyone together as well to do this for us. It really
That's
was
no
awesome
problem.
performance.
Thank you for including us. Thank you for reaching out. Any way that we can break the monotony of this, shelter in place, that's a good thing. And why not do it with local artists, who put in their time and work to improve their craft and to share their craft. So, hell yeah.
For sure.
Awesome. I'm going to bring up the rest of the poets, and we're going to say goodbye to Mike C.
Mike Fresno, we love you. And he has a craft beer podcast also that's Fresno related. So perfect pour, it's called. Check that out.
Nice.
Thank you all guys for doing this. Really do appreciate you and that pizza, man. You're getting me.
Stop.
You're getting me.
Why are you eating pizza and not sharing?
Thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
Have a good one. And then it's just me again. We're going to spend the rest of the... Oh, no, it's not just me.
This is your big moment, Josh.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know. What do I need to do
It's
here?
time for your solo.
Right. No, I don't think I can do that. So
I want a piece of pizza so bad now.
I know.
It's amazing.
It was ridiculous. Did Teresa go black here?
It appears.
Oh, there
There
she
she
is.
is.
Doritos.
So this is the end of the show. We went through all the segments.
Oh,
I want to say thanks to everyone. We're running slightly behind schedule, but I just really think this was really awesome, and each of you guys did a really wonderful job of bringing people together. And Mike, Malcolm, thank you so much for
absolutely
doing all this and producing it. You did a great job. Like I can't even imagine. Teresa, Donald, thank you for everything. This was really cool, and hopefully we'll get to do it again.
We do have one final surprise, which is we have a special guest, who's going to play us out of the show and say goodnight to everybody. And hopefully, if you had a good time watching, you'll leave a comment. And then Teresa, I'm stepping on you, but it's because of delay, I think. Do you have any goodbyes, Teresa, Donald, or Josh?
I just want to say I got a text from the famous Jackie Ryle who says, Fresno Famoso is just great. Thank you. It's like being out. And I think that's a great compliment.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. And then we're going to bring on our special guest. I'm going to say goodbye to Teresa, Josh, and Donald.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
And we're going to bring on our special guest. Let's see if I can do this. All right. We now have Amber Fargano from Fatty
Hello,
Cakes
children.
and the Puff Pastry.
Hello, children. Thank you for watching Fresno Famoso. I want to wish you all your cream cheese dreams to come true with a little song to put you to rest called Ghost Queen. You fulfilled my dreams, you fulfilled my dreams. When you're seeing right through me, when you act like you're seeing through me, I can stop having these dreams, I can stop having these dreams where I
all the other ghost queens. I wanna be the ghost queen. So dang bad, I can't help but that. The living make me mad. I wanna rule the day, yeah. Play with all your hands. I wanna be the ghost queen. I wanna reign supreme. I fell in love. I fell in love with a chill upon my neck. With a chill upon my neck. I fell in love. I fell in love with watching you when you didn't even expect it. I wanna be the ghost queen. So dang bad, I can't help but that. The living make me mad. I wanna rule the day, play with all of your hands. I wanna be the ghost queen. I wanna reign supreme. Wear an invisible dress. With your lies I will mess. I haunt you in your sleep. Know every secret you keep. And if you are mortal, I'll pull you through my death portal. And together we'll reign supreme as each other's ghost queens. Ghost queen! Ghost queen!